The White Lady of the Cathedral is a ghost story from France that I first came across in an old Reader's Digest book of ghost stories. The story goes like this. In the town of Mende, not far from the Spanish border, there's a grand old cathedral that was built in the 13th century. It was built on the site of an old church that had stood since the 5th century. So, over the years, it had become a bit dilapidated. By the 18th century, it really was looking quite worn and in need of some serious repairs. The mayor at the time was a man named Behague, who was so ashamed of his crumbling cathedral that he decided to knock it down and rebuild it. So he hired an architect named François Daquin to design a new and grander cathedral for the town. And François got to work drawing up plans for the new building, plans that included a massive tower over 200 feet high, complete with a spire. These were ambitious plans, but the mayor was rich and he wanted to make sure that his name was remembered in history. So he agreed to foot the bill. Construction began in 1752, and it was a long and laborious process. But finally, 20 years later, the cathedral was finished and it was magnificent. Built in the shape of a Latin cross, it boasted some fine carvings and a huge pipe organ. But the crowning glory was the tower, which dominated the skyline of the town. The mayor had died in 1769, but his widow and son came to see the completed building, and they were very proud of their contribution to the town. However, one day, as Mrs. Behague was walking past the cathedral, she noticed that the tower had started to lean alarmingly to one side. She told her son to have a look, and sure enough, the tower was out of plumb. Concerned, he sent a letter to the architect asking him to come and take a look. But by the time he arrived, the tower had fallen completely over and was lying in a heap at the bottom of a newly dug canal. The townspeople were, of course, horrified and blamed the architect for cutting corners. But François Daquin knew that he had done nothing wrong. He had built many towers in his lifetime, and this one was no different. The only possible explanation was that the ground beneath it had somehow shifted. But why? Well, according to legend, as the tower was being built, the workers came across a small chapel that was attached to the old cathedral. The chapel contained the tomb of a white-robed lady who, according to a plaque, had been a martyr for her faith. Apparently, the lady's spirit didn't like the idea of the new cathedral being built on top of the old one, so she cursed the construction and caused the tower to collapse. Some say that the lady's ghost can still be seen wandering around the cathedral at night, searching for the bones of her lost tomb. What do you think? Is the White Lady of the Cathedral a real ghost, or just a folktale designed to scare the living? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As ever, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Until next time.